Hey, what's up, Reefers? I'm Reefer Matt. Recently, my wife and I went to Myrtle Beach, and we happened to stop by Ripley's Aquarium. We had an awesome time. There was a lot of exhibits there, and there was a lot of cool things to see. So I highly recommend you stop by there if you've never been there. This Saturday, the 16th, I'm going to be at Taylortown in Taylor, Michigan. So I'll have some frags and things at a trade show there. So if you happen to want to stop by and say hi, I'll be at Taylortown this September the 16th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Here's some of the cool footage I got at Ripley's Aquarium. I can't wait to go back. We had an awesome time. Wow, check out this exhibit. This was inside like a little tunnel that they had that you can actually walk underneath the whole exhibit. Somewhere in there's a turtle. Can you see it? It was a huge turtle. Her name was Gabby. I don't know how big this turtle is. I know it was bigger than I am. There it is, right in the middle of the screen there. But yeah, the turtle was cool too. This Ripley's Aquarium didn't have a whole lot of reef things. I did happen to find this reef tank though. It was pretty cool. It's a little bit of a mixed tank. It's got some SPS, LPS, and softies in it. So it was real cool to see this tank. Just looking around, there was all kinds of different fish in there, and there's some yellow tangs and butterfly fish. So, you know, it's a real nice reef exhibit to show somebody who maybe isn't too familiar. And they even had like a little frag rack down here at the bottom, which my wife was like, "Hey, you got that too." So, you know, she happened to point that out to me. So, yeah, this exhibit was pretty cool. And here's another little side tank with a bunch of different fish in it. You can see a bunch of different reef fish, and there's some schooling fish in there. So this is kind of cool to see too. You just kind of sit there and relax and watch all the fish swim. And here is just a freaking amazing part of this main exhibit, where there's sharks and there's fish and there's everything all in one tank. And it was just mesmerizing to watch the sharks and everything just kind of swim over the top of you and watch all the fish schooling around. As you can see here, there's my wife likes to watch the sharks. There's my wife right there, Mrs. Reefer. So it was really cool to see all the sharks and everything just swimming around. And they even had like a little glass bottom boat tour that we did up top, so we could actually see down on top of all the fish and sharks too, and that was really cool. And here are some endangered sawfish that they had on exhibit as well. And yes, I couldn't believe it. They even had a mermaid swimming in a tank with a whole bunch of rays and stuff, and she was doing a show for children. And I just like, oh my God. I mean, I don't know how she could swim like that, but it was cool to actually see a mermaid in the tank. And here is sort of a miscellaneous invertebrate tank. They had some anemones and barnacles and sea stars and these huge fish here. So it was just sort of like a miscellaneous tank, but it was pretty neat to look at too. And as we walked around, my wife started asking, she's like, "Aren't there any puffers here?" And I was like, "There has to be puffers here." And lo and behold, the last tank we came to had all these awesome puffies in it. Oh my gosh. This was my favorite tank out of the whole place. It had a whole bunch of different puffers, and, you know, other little fish too. But there was a lot of little puffers. So, I mean, puffers are my favorite. So there's a little dog face there, and I was just so excited to see this tank. I even got in the middle there too. There's a porky puffer, and there was a big, huge puffer in here too. He'll be coming by in a minute, and I was just so happy to see this tank. This guy is pretty cool to see. I've never seen a puffer like that before, just like little nubs or like little spikes. I'm used to the porky puffers. See, he's got like spikes. Somebody, if you know, tell me what kind of puffer that is, if you would, please. And there's a cute little puffy there. Look at that guy. He is pretty neat to see too. And here comes the big guy. This guy was freaking huge. He was, I don't know, at least 2 feet long. It was just a huge puffer, and I was like, oh wow, look at that guy. So that was pretty neat to see. Yep, hands down, the whole place, this was my favorite tank. They even had a whole like room just full of different kinds of jellyfish and stuff. And this tank was just mesmerizing. As you can see, they were changing color. They would go from like red to green. And it was actually the jellyfish that were changing the color. And they were pretty big too. They were a couple feet long. So I was just sitting here staring at this thing going, oh wow. It was pretty neat. Yeah, it's almost like watching, you know, a living lava lamp, if you would, just sitting there watching all these things glowing and changing colors and kind of just swaying around. It was real relaxing just watching them. And they had some kind of, it was like an alien noise that it was making in the background for the whole room. You know, sort of like a jellyfish or from out of this world because they look so weird. But it was like really cool. It added to the atmosphere of it. And here are some upside down jellyfish. I've actually seen some hobbyists have these. They look pretty neat too. There's a whole bunch of them just sitting there chilling and you know, flopping around and stuff. So they look pretty cool. Well, what I tell you, that place was freaking awesome, and we had a blast. So if you haven't been to Ripley's Aquarium, I highly recommend them, and you should check it out. I'm Reefer Matt. Thank you for watching, and happy reefing.